Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Nitro Rambler binding. I rode this binding at Arapahoe Base on a day that was a mix of blue and gray skies, low winds, warm temps, you had slush, chop, chunder, ice, perfect corduroy, and I rode it on my Ride Shadowband snowboard with my K2 Thraxis boots. Alright, with the adjustability on this binding, you have flip tabs on the toe and the heel. Pop it up, slide it down, slide it in, lock it back in, basically center the strap over the boot. The toe strap is on a push pin system, so you can push it down, pull it back up, and center it on the boot. The toe ramp can be slid forward or backwards a little as well to center it under your boot. And then when we get to the heel cup, it is on two set screws that also go through the heel strap and the Highback. So this is going to control where the strap placement is as well as the rotation of the Highback, so be aware of that and how the heel cup moves in and out. Finally, you have a forward lean adjustment on the Highback. Flip it down, slide it up, slide it down, flip it back up, and lock it into place. So the big thing with the heel strap on this binding is that it's a multi-piece fabric design that is going to break down and break in over time, so expect it to stretch. It does have ample padding in it, and it is not the most rigid strap. It is thicker on the outside, thinner in the middle. That means you're going to lose some of that power and drive because your ankle is going to be able to flex forward. With the toe strap, it's a trickle down from older Nitro bindings. It's not the biggest cutout. It's going to have some issues fitting with certain boot shapes, so be aware of that. Some of them are just not going to fit so well, so you want something that's a little more pointy and a little bit narrower, and it will fit through that cutout. If it's bulkier and wider, it's probably not going to fit as good as other straps out there. I do feel that Nitro's ratchets are dialed. They climb well. They've got a big wide mouth to feed that ladder in. They're just sticky when you get them right out of the box. That one finger quick release does what it needs to do. Overall, they stayed locked in for me. I didn't have any issues with them, but I will say they are sticky out of the box, and you need to be aware of that. This is one of the softer Highbacks for Nitro, so don't expect to get a lot of power out of it when you drive into it. Expect to have a lot of give. It also has the most padding out of any of their Highbacks, so there's a ton of foam on there that'll just dampen when you push hard into it. Be aware of that. The forward lean adjustment is easy to use. You flip it up, slide it down, slide it up, lock it into place, and get on your way. It's nice to have, but I think if you're riding this binding, you're probably not using forward lean. This is a very soft binding. You've got a mini disc on there, you've got a soft base plate, and then you've got that heel strap that has a ton of give to it. It's very loose. Do not expect to get a lot of power out of this binding. Laterally, you're basically going to be over-exaggerating your movements, and when you drive toe to heel, it's not the most responsive. You're basically pushing right through the straps or the Highback, depending when you're going toe to heel. The ride of this binding is very lively. If you're looking for a damp binding, there are others from Nitro that provide more than what this one has. You're gonna feel all that kinetic energy and chatter coming up underfoot. Who's this binding for? The freestyle focused rider that just needs a meat and potatoes solid binding that will operate well when they're not in the park. This is too soft of a binding for me. I'm not gonna deny that. But it's not a bad binding for what it actually is. If you're looking for something that's got more lateral play, something you can really push through, you're gonna be able to jib with, play around with, it's not bad. But if you're looking for power and performance, there's other bindings in the Nitro line that are way better. Comparable bindings: the Battalion Fly, the Ride C4, the Union Flight Pro. This has been my review of the Nitro Rambler binding. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own a pair? Are you gonna buy a pair? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this binding. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.